Welcome to Acres of Clay. We're glad you joined us today. We are going to do table talk with the farmer today about...
I guess that's me.
Yes, about issues that are concerning the ag industry and the consumers. Many of you know this information already, but this is kind of geared towards those who don't follow
The stuff that affects us.
ag-related news and information. Most of you know that
somebody thinks we're going to be a news desk or something. We're not starting a farm channel or a farm program channel or a farm news channel, I guess.
no, but this is news that will probably affect most people.
Yeah, well.
So yeah, this is my husband Kevin, and most of you know that we are dairy farmers here in Michigan. We farm over 350 acres. Everything that we produce on our land is harvested and fed to our cattle or our animals, and none of it is sold as a commodity. Everything is used here directly on the farm.
The only thing we sell is milk and calves and cow cows. So.
Yep. First topic we're going to talk about is...
What would be a good one?
Kevin's wrote down some notes so that he can stick with it.
It's amazing.
And hopefully we don't get off the subject and end up with an hour-long video for you. Right?
You are a lot of fun.
I know. Let's carry on.
Carry on? Okay.
What would you like to discuss first?
First, since it's our first accumulating snow, I thought I would talk about that. That's why I got my flannels on. So, and maybe I should grow a beard. I don't know, but no. Typically, we get our first snow November 3rd. This year, or first accumulating snow. Let me put it that way. We've had a trace already, but the town that's just closest, well,
just south of us.
just south of us. The official measurement come in at 3.5 inches of accumulating snow.
That was last night.
And then they're talking tonight 1 to 3. So we're definitely switched from no snow to snow. But we're a little late this year because, like I said, November 3rd is our first snow.
And it's the middle of November now.
Yeah, exciting thing I guess to see. And the fun fact about snow is that a snow typically cleans the air. It's kind of like a big scrub brush. You got it all falling through, and it just cleans the dust and the pollen. And so for you guys that suffer from that, the air should be cleaner now.
Yeah, don't have to worry about allergies.
So, like she said, I want to talk about some stuff that affects our industry. One of them, I guess, kind of off the bat, is inflation. There's a lot on the news about it. How basically our dollar is becoming not as strong as it used to be, or I mean, as it was a couple years ago. So I can think back to the late 70s, early 80s was the last time that we had, I guess you would say, kind of went through a time of higher inflation rates, I guess you'd say. And there was like oil shortages too, where and maybe many of you remember that, where you could only get so many gallons out of the gas station, or you had to wait in line at the gas station to get it. And at that time also, it really affected the ag industry. There was because interest rates were so high, that was the huge kicker there. Fertilizer was cheap. I mean, your chemicals, all your inputs were pretty cheap, but I believe it was 1981 or 80 or 81 in there that interest rates hit 19.9%. Because my oldest brother bought something at that time, and it was just under 20% interest. And yeah, you didn't want to pay that. He hurried up and paid it off as quick as he could. But just to imagine having that now, like house loans and stuff like that going, I mean, even to 10 or 15%, I said that would make it virtually impossible for a lot of people to pay their mortgages or car payments or any of that stuff.
Equipment.
Or
Like
yeah,
that.
even equipment farm related. The latest data, like on the cost of living, since I think it was 2 months ago, but basically the cost of living, the food, gas, your food, that gas that you put in your car, and basically gas to heat your house with and stuff. They say it is up 6%. So people are spending 6% more money to live.
Than they were, when, 6 months ago?
Yeah, I'd probably say 6 months ago. So I mean, cost of living's gone up 6%. So it's costing that, and that's kind of why we see at least a lot around here that wages have gone up about $1 an hour, maybe two. Is that kind of?
Yeah, I don't really know how much it's gone up.
Because it seems like companies are offering a couple bucks more than they were.
Yeah,
but
they
that's
are.
basically to cover the cost of living. I mean, we're seeing some inflation where a dollar ain't worth as much, and that's going up too. And another thing we're hearing too is that they're predicting 50% increase in cost of heating our houses this winter. They figure natural gas will go up that much. Heating oil, heating oil is already up. But for all you lumberjacks out there that like to cut wood, this would be a good year to.
The only thing is, the price of gasoline is up, but
Still a lot cheaper.
it is cheaper.
So, for us, we use a combination. That way we're not totally dependent on one natural
gas.
Or, one thing. So we do cut some wood to heat with a little bit. But yeah, it's just, that's what they're predicting or what they're saying.
Was this nationwide that the heating cost is going
Yeah, they're
up?
talking that nationwide. And then kind of what affects us a little more, I got some numbers here, but last spring, which would be spring of 2021, I paid $569 a ton for nitrogen. The guys that bought it in 2020, a lot of them paid $350 to $400 a ton for it, but I was just kind of giving you some numbers as to what that looks like. We typically like to put on 200 pounds of actual N. So that way, because we shoot for a 200 bushel corn crop, and so you want 200 pounds of actual nitrogen. Well, the spring of 2021, I got a number here. It cost us $116 an acre to put that much nitrogen on. Well, what we can buy nitrogen for right now, and it's like from June till now is 4 months? June, July, August, September, October, 5 months later.
Yeah.
So 5 months later, right now, if I went and bought it right now, it's $1,000 a ton for nitrogen. And at 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre, that's $208 an acre. So it's almost
Just
double.
for fertilizer.
No, just for nitrogen.
Or just nitrogen, yes.
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 Because you got potash, phosphate,
Yeah.
all them other ones. So that just gives you an idea.
That's almost double the price, so.
It's like a 45% increase, and that is making a lot of people kind of wondering what's going to happen. Because with that much increase, the price has got to go up or something for the guys that raise corn. But for us, all our corn goes through the cows. So we're hoping that we're hoping to see an increase in milk price to cover
Milk price, yeah.
to cover the offset of what fertilizer costs are going to be. All the corn that we grow goes into milk production for our cows, and actually we do buy some corn. But with the increases in nitrogen like that and the other fertilizers like potash and your phosphorus, typically with manure we don't have to put on phosphorus because manure is very high in that. But we have to, we're hoping that the price of milk comes up to cover, these extra costs that we're going to have in the spring. I know that with corn being at, well, today it's at $5.69. That's what
$5.69 a bushel.
Yeah. So with that corn being at that price, and this fall it got down to like $4.99 was the cheapest, and it's kind of been creeping back up. So with that price, it has caused a lot more culling of the cow herd in America, where cull rate was up like 70,000 head in the last couple months over a year ago. So there's a lot more cows going to market, and I know that I'm hearing rumors too, or reading that milk production has been slipping because of the high prices of feed that's going.
It's harder to justify buying expensive corn and expensive feeds and giving them to your cows when the price of milk is so low, because you still gotta
pay your bill.
You gotta pay it, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make it cost effective. So that's why we're hoping that we see a good uptick in the price of milk, just because there's some positive signs that are leading towards, a lower production, more cows getting out of the herd in America. That way, they're basically equating to less milk on the market. And now that we're coming out of the restrictions that we had, restaurants and stuff going back, people are buying, and we got the holiday seasons here too. So hopefully we'll see an uptick to help cover our cost. Another thing that we're doing too, the older generation, they grew their nitrogen, which is kind of a wild thought for my generation and younger. But like my dad, my grandparents, they did a rotation with, basically they would grow corn and then plant wheat, and then when the wheat came off, they would put clover into it, which made nitrogen for the following year's corn crop. Nowadays, we have beans. Probably the last 20 years, they've been raising beans in our area. So now you can do corn, beans, wheat, and then plant clover in the wheat stubble, and then have they call it green manure, but have a plow down clover for the following year. So that's options that cash crop guys got to help.
They're gonna have to weigh out
lower their cost of
their input costs of planting corn.
For planting corn.
But
for us as a dairy, we're doing more and more cover crops. That's why this year I've put in, we're trying the Balanza clover, the end fixation Balanza clover. Because for one thing, we don't have to fertilize it in the spring like you do the other, like a rye or ryegrass cover crop that we take off for a forage. Where the Balanza, we're hoping to harvest it as a forage, but yet it puts nitrogen down for the next crop behind it. So we're hoping to save, that's one way of saving some money. And they are speculating with nitrogen being so high that there could be a 20% increase in soybean acres. And
planted, soybean planted.
Soybean
Less corn, more soybeans are going to be planted.
Your
That's
wife love it, yeah. Why? Do you want to take over?
Carry on.
So that's what they're kind of speculating. Right now it's all speculation. And so if that's the case, that'll push even corn price higher yet. I mean,
making it harder for farmers to buy dry corn.
Yep.
Because we purchase dry corn and feed it depending on the time of the year.
We typically buy when it gets into the summer months. Is when
if we're running low.
If we're running low, that's typically. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. I'm kind of.
He's excited.
Because it's interesting to see, because my dad lived through it. I mean,
we haven't really lived through such high inflations.
No, we haven't, but it's going to be exciting to see how we can make it work out and make it work, because that's what we're determined to do.
Yeah.
So So yeah, well, that's why we're gonna try and grow more of our own nitrogen. Plus we have our manure. That will save us on that fertilizer aspect of it because it's going to be pretty pricey. Another thing that's happening too, interest rates will be going up the first of the year. So
Is that for farmers
for
or ag?
everybody,
Everything.
everything, they're talking of jumping the interest rate. I think it's 1/4 or 1/2%, something like that, to try and slow down inflation. So that's going to be another effect. Another piece of the pie, I guess. I mean, if interest rates go up, that'll make it so those that have loans, they just can't pay them back as fast.
Yeah.
So it's going to take actually longer to pay back,
Yeah.
and so that'll just kind of
Stretch things out further.
drag stuff out further.
But you said that wheat prices have gone up.
Yeah, wheat right now, because at harvest time wheat was 5 something a bushel, 5.50, and now it's 7.50 a bushel for wheat, and that's kind of getting close to all-time high too for that. So that means all your breads, your pastas, your pastries, all that stuff.
Yeah, and we've even noticed it because we buy our flour in bulk, and that the 50-pound bags has gone up in price.
$5.
$5.
About across the board.
And
so a 50-pound bag of flour now is $5 more than what it was, say, just
6 months ago,
6 months
maybe?
ago,
Yeah.
sometime like that.
so it's going to affect everything, anything that's made with a wheat product. But if corn goes way up, then that's going to affect things that are made out of corn. It's going to affect the price of what you as a consumer has to pay for meat or milk or dairy products in general if our milk price goes up. So inflation affects everyone, not just those in ag.
So it's going to be a combination of inflation and then our high prices of input is going to make it more that we're going to need more to cover our costs.
Yeah.
And therefore, as a consumer, you're going to need to
you're going to have to be paying more in the long run.
So
something to look forward to, right?
Paying more for your food?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like fun, but God said He would supply what we need, right? And
well, He'll
take care of us.
He'll take care of us. So, with that said, if you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comments below. And
if you have any more information you want to share or inside knowledge, or
just leave them
if
in the
you've gone
comments.
through inflation way back in the day, let us know what you guys did as farmers to offset those costs and things.
So.
We'd love to hear those in the comments.
So that it?
I think so. I think that's all you were going to share.
Yeah, that's all I kind of had in my notes. So
thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you have a very blessed day. Take care.